what is the one big goal that you have and I have? The goal is to help our customers, clients, patients be able to achieve outstanding outcomes. The backbone of everything that we do, from marketing to sales to designing your offers, the goal with it is to actually be able to get the patients that you want to work with from point A to point B. That is what our entire business's ecosystem is designed to help them do that. That is the goal. When we tie our revenue, when we tie everything that we do to creating real results, then we know that every marketing and sales and client delivery and offer that we create will be an incredible integrity for our patients. Hey, beautiful friend, if you're a longtime listener of the podcast who's been dying to work with me but hasn't pulled the trigger yet, I have an incredible opportunity to work with me for a fraction of the cost. If your estheticians can't explain your signature plans or your new injectors panic every time they have to sell a high-ticket consult, it's not their fault. It's the system, or more specifically, your lack of one. That's exactly why I built Ask Heather AI, the first strategist level tool for aesthetic and wellness CEOs who want to scale with precision and stop flying by the seat of their pants. Inside, you get 3 powerful tools, each designed to solve the exact gaps that keep your growth tied to you. Turn your basic menu into a branded high-ticket signature offer suite your whole team can sell. Train every team member to lead premium consults with confidence, even if they've never sold a thing. Write magnetic messaging that attracts premium patients without sounding like every other clinic online. These are the same frameworks we've used to scale clinics to 7 figures and beyond, and they used to cost 5 figures to access. Now, you can have them in your back pocket. Try Ask Heather AI for 30 days and see what happens when you stop guessing and start scaling with words that work. Head over to heathertrevine.com/trial to learn more. Well, hello, my beautiful friend. Welcome back to another episode of the podcast. This is part 3 in a 3-part series that is really designed to help you not only create incredible revenue and profits in 2026, but to do so in a way that builds authority, that really you and your practice become the ultimate experts and become known for what it is that you do, so that you create fame for yourself in the process, locally and beyond. So in episode number 1, I do recommend pausing this episode if you have not listened to the 2 episodes that precede this episode and going back. And the first episode is really where I unpacked my entire business plan and the thought process and approach that I have to marketing. It's also a great one to listen to if you want to know how you can work with us in 2026 as well. So go back and listen to that. But it's a great way of like mapping out an example of my approach in my own business, because I am a product of my product. Then in episode 2, I kind of unpacked the 5 key things that you need to establish and to decide to have in 2026 and beyond that will be the key levers of your marketing ecosystem happening in the background to ensure that you can grow consistently month in, month out. Then in this episode, we are going to dive into the assets and the foundation of your entire business that will create that booked out authority that you want and what should go inside of your growth system more specifically. So we're going to walk through each of the things, and I'm going to actually do it based on the 3 key pillars that we work with our clients on. We have programs in each of these 3 key pillars as well too. So it's very meta, but the goal with this is, okay, now I've told you kind of like why you should map out that marketing ecosystem. And when I say marketing ecosystem, this is like your business model as well too. It's my sort of philosophy that marketing is everything. It's your offers, it's your in-person experience, it's your ability to deliver outstanding outcomes. Everything from client delivery to how you communicate with clients, to what your unique frameworks are, to your clinical protocols, to your consults, all of those things are the ecosystem that you have. And what is the one big goal that you have and I have, right? The goal is to help our customers, clients, patients be able to achieve outstanding outcomes. So the backbone of everything that we do, from marketing to sales to designing your offers, the goal with it is to actually be able to get the patients that you want to work with, so the certain humans that are the ideal candidates for what it is that you do, from point A to point B. Okay. That is what our entire ecosystem, our business's ecosystem, is designed to help them do that. Right. So that is the goal. When we tie our revenue, when we tie everything that we do to creating real results, then we know that every marketing and sales and client delivery and offer that we create will be an incredible integrity for our patients as well too. All right. So let's dive in to this, thinking about, okay, in the previous episode, we talked about how you need paid, organic, a content hub, internal, and then having the on-demand and conversion triggers that are laid out in your marketing ecosystem. So again, that marketing ecosystem is the before, the during, and the after part of your entire experience. And again, your entire experience is designed to help get certain humans outstanding outcomes and get them from point A to point B. Okay, you with me? All right. Now we know and understand that. Let's actually look at, through the three things, the three frameworks we have to help our clients, and what are the assets that you need within that to ensure that you are going to build an incredibly strong business foundation so that you can not only get outstanding outcomes over and over and over again for your patients, but you can do so in a way where you can really drive revenue and profits at the same time and become known for what it is that you do. So number one is having offers. So we do this inside of Signature Menus that sells, and it's having the foundation of your offer suite based on a signature menu of packages and programs and plans. So we want to have signature packages, right, that are CSPs and BMOs for certain types of patients that we know we can create outstanding outcomes for. And then we want to have named consults. And we also want to have, now assuming you already have your signature menu dialed in, okay? And if you don't and you want help with that, I recommend getting Signature Menus that sells. It also includes 3 months of Ask Heather AI right now, so that you can actually have the AI to help you build out your menu as well too. So let's assume you already have your menu established for the 3 maybe main patient avatars that you serve. And so you've got that signature menu of comprehensive solutions and what have you. Now, let's say we have 3 main patient avatars that we work with. Okay. So let's say it's the acne prone teenager, the menopausal, older woman, and then the perimenopausal 30 to 40s women. I'm giving you high level right now. Some of you, I never recommend really having more than 3 to 5. Some of you might only have 1 or 2 patient avatars. So your signature menu should have packages and BMOs, CSPs that actually are designed for those specific patient avatars in mind. For those of you who have been in my world, we do an exercise called a Patient 365 to help you kind of uncover what those packages and programs could be. Then you actually want to have some signature plans, which are basically the annual recommendations that most of the time you would recommend for a certain avatar. Now, the signature plans have some variation in them, right? Your team will have some of the authority in deciding based on the human that they're seeing what packages and BMOs will make up that person's signature plan. And when I say signature plan, it's just that annual roadmap that you're giving them during the consult. So once you know sort of your signature menu, you have some idea of your signature plans and maybe the top 3 patient avatars that you want to really truly serve in your business, then that is when we can really map out what your front-end marketing might look like. Now, for me, I already kind of described, we have tiny offer masterclasses, and then we'll have lead magnet guides. That will be our front-end marketing. For you, now that you know which patients you really want to double down on, you know that you can get outstanding outcomes for, you've built a signature menu now around that. You have a consult system, right? You have the CARES consult system. And if you don't have our 5-figure consults, that would be the next thing I would dive into after signature menu set sells, getting 5-figure consults so that you have our entire consult process as well. So say you have those 2 things going, then we know that any of the investment we make on our front end advertising, that paid advertising that we talked about in the previous episode, is going to produce a higher return on ad spend so that we can trust that for every dollar that we put in to the front end, that we are going to get a bunch of money on the back end. We never want it to be, oh, well, we're just running that talk special on the front end paid marketing, and we hope that we break even or come ahead, and then we hope that they just come in and continually get talks. Okay. That is like margins are going to be small and less exciting. And also results are going to be small and less exciting if they're just getting talks. So we want the menu and the consult to help all of those people who are coming into the front end actually maximize their results and then maximize the revenue that you are able to achieve with each of those folks. Now, let's talk about it. So I would, now that you have paid like marketing, or I recommend you have paid marketing on the front end, what should that look like? Now, most of the agencies, for those of you who decide to hire an agency, are going to tell you what offers that have worked for practices and med spas and clinics just like yours. And so they're going to kind of direct you to what they recommend you do. Now, that's okay. All right. I am okay with new patient specials that are different than the rest of your offer suite that are being run to cold traffic. Okay. Because when we're running ads to cold traffic, it is okay to sometimes have a special offer. This is different than crash discounting, which is my term for those of you who run discounts every single month organically and internally to your audience. That teaches them that you are a discount place, that they should wait for the discount every single month. That is different than having a front end. I think it is okay to have a one-time only okay for new patients special that's running on the front end as well. But whatever that offer is, I want you to know on the back end what the signature plan is going to be on the back end, most likely for those humans that are coming in, for the talk special, for the microneedling special, for the facial special. So for me, I have my tiny offers designed in a way so that I know on the back end what the back end email sequence is actually going to sell them into. Okay. Now it's a little different for you guys. You might have a front end on the paid side of things, a front end ad that is going to like a body sculpting offer, a talk special, a facial of some sort. You want to actually build out the back end of what that might look like. So if somebody's coming in and they come in on a talk special, you don't just want to deliver them on talks. You want to make sure that you are still giving every single person an annual consult and naming the consult. Okay. So you want to have a named consult. That is your specific consult process that every single new patient, no matter where they come in from, gets to experience. This does mean that you will want to have a certain amount of time, 15 minutes plus, that you add in for every new patient. And even though they're just coming in for that talk special, you let them know that this is standard operating procedure, that every single patient that comes to your clinic gets an annual roadmap. And then you should know, well, if somebody's booked talks, there are only so many types of avatars that typically are booking talks consistently for the most part. Okay. And then deciding, okay, these are the offers that they're going to most likely be given during the consult. Then if they've just booked the talks, now you're going to have your ads team or your team, if you're doing it yourself, you will have whatever SMS and initial like appointment reminders for that booked appointment. But what else can you add in automatically? Why don't we have a new patient subscriber email sequence? Okay, if you're in the authority method, if you have Ask Heather AI, you have access to ours. Build that out so that they get an email sequence that actually nurtures them for your unique expertise and authority as well. Okay, so that's an asset that you can add in. Then where can we, so that's paid and they're coming in. Okay, so now you understand that with our paid marketing, we understand on the back end what we're going to be doing with those humans. We want to connect, no matter what it is, our entire system on the back end to what those front end offers are to make sure that we can maximize. Now, are you going to have folks who are just tire kickers that come in off of ads? Will you have more of those folks, new patients who come in off of ads than you say from your referrals? Yes. But you do not adapt or change what you're doing because you have more people who are coming in that might be price sensitive, that might be tire kickers. You stay true to who you are, who you designed your practice and clinic to serve, no matter what. Okay? Because there's still humans, even with those cold traffic paid ads, that are really desiring a place that is an expert and authority just like you. And that's who you are going to hold steadfast to when it comes to your back-end systems, offers, marketing, and internal communication. So that's what we got happening with paid. Let's go to organic first. So organic, we are going to have our organic marketing that we decided upon in the previous episode that you're going to be doing. So let's just say it's Instagram is one of them. You will want to create some guides that are also designed with those 3 avatars in mind. So it can literally be like the clear, we said one of them was the teenager struggling with acne. The guide could be the clear skin guide for your teenagers suffering from cystic acne, right? I'm just making that up on the fly. The guide could be for that menopausal or perimenopausal woman, the roadmap to glowing skin for the over 40-year-old, right? Those are guides where you're actually creating guides where you're giving valuable expertise and content and also seeding the signature menu items that you have that help that specific avatar get the outstanding outcomes that they want, right? So you're seeding and actually give them useful content, but so it's not a brochure, right? It's not just opting them into where you're just going to give them a brochure. You're actually leading them through some of the myths in the industry. You're sharing some before and afters and actually giving them valuable content as well too. But the guides will lead back to your offers and have a CTA on it where they can actually book from the guide. And then when they get the guide, when you're constantly sharing the guide in the organic marketing, it also triggers an email sequence that is your new subscriber welcome sequence that was designed just with that guide in mind. Again, if you have Ask Heather AI or the authority method, you have access to this. And then it opts them into that so that you are selling them on booking the consult that will actually help them. And then you name the consult. So if they got the clear skin guide, they opt into get the clear skin guide, they get the email sequence that nurtures them. And then the CTA in the email sequence is to book their clear skin consult. You see what we're doing here? This is trust building assets and also helping build out those things that I was telling you about in my business plan that look a little bit different just because of the nature of my business model and having a coaching business, but is exactly what I would do if I was implementing my system. In exactly what I do with my clients is implement this system so that they have it in the back end as well. So you have your educational guides. And then another key asset that you might start building is having high impact events. These are events that are authority building, that are expert building, that again are for those specific avatars that we talked about. So you might have an acne event. You might have an over 40 woman event. You might have an event for the person who's trying to get their body back for summertime. You might have an event that is all about the bride getting glowing skin and your bride system for the person who is really wanting to have their ultimate glow up for brides. These are high impact events where you are actually internal marketing and getting those folks who have just opted into your ecosystem as well. And also existing patients that maybe haven't totally been able to commit to something yet. And they want just another communication touch point where they can experience your authority and expertise and learn about what your solutions can do for them as well too. So as we look at your marketing ecosystem, okay, so we want to make sure that you have your offers in play that help your person get from point A to point B. We want to make sure that you have automated email sequences that help the new subscribers that drop for your events, that drop for your guides, that happen, that are in the back end for your CSPs and BMOs. So we have email sequences for your CSPs so that everyone we're looking to plan your 2026, every single signature package that you have gets its day in the sun at some point because you have an email sequence that is going to be launched, a campaign that's going to be launched with your social media as well too, at the same time as your email sequences, sometimes if you have live campaigns happening throughout the year. So we can build out those trust building assets. We can actually ensure that you're paid, that you're organic, that you're internal, that your content hub, and that those on-demand conversion things that you have in person as well digitally are all built out. And you're building the infrastructure so that no matter where you invest on the front end, you know that every single patient that comes into your ecosystem is going to experience the ability to be able to achieve outstanding results and outcomes. And byproduct of that is that you end up achieving outstanding revenue and profits. All right. That is the end of the 3-part series that we have on helping you actually unpack your entire ecosystem, build out the foundation so that you can have an unshakable business in 2026 and beyond. I hope you enjoyed this series. That is what I have for you this week, my friend. I cannot wait to see you next week, and I hope you enjoyed. Take care.